Today we're going to be looking at the old Lorwyn cards. This is the plane of the mythical creatures. You know, the fairies, the elves, the goblins, the merfolk. We're going to take a look at them today. Okay, we're looking at the Arbiter of Knoll Ridge. Almost sounds like they're trying to say knowledge. Certainly looks like quite a learned person. This is a 7-mana 5/5 giant wizard. Vigilance. When Arbiter of the Knoll Ridge comes into play, each player's life total becomes the highest life total among all players. So if someone gained infinite life, well, you're not the only one that has gained infinite life around here. Seems like a pretty interesting, easy way to cheatsies your way to a bazillion life, just in case someone else gained a bazillion life. Next up, are we including cards from later that were set in Lorwyn? Nope, it's gotta be from the Lorwyn set. It's gotta have that set symbol. Gotta have that set symbol, people. So one John says Thoughtseize. Wow. What was life like before Thoughtseize? Now, this got reprinted a million times, but yeah, this is the origin story. For a black, a sorcery, target player reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card from it, and that player discards that card, and you lose 2 life. It's not the first hand card discard. We've lived with duress for a million years. We've had duress, and then I guess no, Inquisition of Kozilek came after this thing. But this has been a staple in every format that it has been playable in, for the basic fact that it can really deal well with combo decks. You have a really good card in your hand. Well, guess what? It's gone. Your combo has been dismantled. Not to mention, it also is. I've also looked at this card like a Gitaxian Probe. Gitaxian Probe is a card that's gotten banned. Gitaxian Probe. Gitaxian Probe has gotten banned. A lot of people think it's because, you can reduce your deck down by a card or 4 cards. No, it's actually because you get to look at your opponent's hand for free and also replace your replace your card for it. This doesn't replace your card, but you take their best card, but you still get to retain the information of what's in your opponent's hand. So Thoughtseize ended up being like unbelievably I don't know about more powerful, but definitely was a game changer to the entire game. Was that the set that had Bitter Blossom? You better believe it. I think so. I think this is the first Bitter Blossom set. No, that was Morningtide. Sorry about that. Maybe we'll get to Morningtide at some point. There's I think there's Shadowmoor. No, we're gonna do the whole series. But today is Lorwyn. I don't know how many cards. Okay, we've got Mappius with Auster Command. The Auster. Let's Auster it up. I want original printings. Oh, so the whole command cycle came from this set. I didn't even realize. 6 mana for a sorcery. Now you get to choose 2. We can destroy all the artifacts. We could destroy all the enchantments, or destroy all creatures with converted mana cost 3 or less, or destroy all creatures with converted mana cost 4 or less. Oh my god. This card, it's not even at instant speed. It's completely at sorcery speed. You know what that means, people. I mean, this card's just junk today. What do we have? Is there anything that this card does that this card doesn't? Seriously. It's so bad compared to Farewell. This can exile the graveyards, enchantments, all the creatures. Okay, there is one thing that this card can do better. And that is, if you want to destroy... If you got a lot of dinky creatures, you can blow up the big ones. If you got a lot of big creatures, you can blow up all the small ones. Yeah, I didn't expect it from Lorwyn either. This is quite fascinating. Where would you put Lorwyn's power level from 1 to 10? 1. 1. It's such a sad set in the grand scheme of things. So many of the cards are so weak. There's some bangers that came out of this set. Don't get me wrong. They've got some bangers, but it's a limited set through and through. It's so bad. Oh, we're looking at the good cards right now. We're eventually gonna run out of good cards and start going into the stinkers. I started the show with the Arbiter of Knoll Ridge. It's sort of a unique card, but I don't know anyone that's playing it. Need that Knoll Ridge? Anyway, okay, Auster Command. Mostly worse Farewell in the grand scheme of things. We got our first super chat today from Pacers Fan Forever. Thank you so much. Immaculate Magistrate. Immaculate Magistrate. This is a 4-mana 2/2. It's an elf shaman, and we can tap it to put a +1/+1 counter on target on target creature for each elf you control. One creature gets bigger. It's going to get super big. Anyone playing that today? I would say this is almost... Well, I shouldn't really compare this to Elvish Piper, but it feels like for the power level of paying 4 mana and having a creature with Summoning Sickness, wait till next turn. This is very... It seems a lot worse. Now, that being said, I mean, I could see the benefit of the Immaculate Magistrate. If you're an elf deck, you have a million elves, you attack with everything, and the one elf that gets through that isn't blocked, you just buff it up and ideally just smacks the opponent for a ton of damage. Oh, oh, you're right. Planeswalker's first debut here, which, speaking of the Planeswalkers, we got from Broadway the OG Jace Beleren. Jace Beleren. Let's get the OG Jace Beleren over here. See? Yeah, 3 mana for 3 loyalty Planeswalker. +2, each player draws a card. -1, target player draws a card. And -10, target player puts the top 20 cards of their library into the graveyard. This card is famous for doing one and only one thing, and that is to destroy Jace the Mind Sculptor. You might wonder how that happened. There used to be something called the Planeswalker Uniqueness Rule. There could only be one of a particular Planeswalker, like a Planeswalker name on the battlefield. So if I have a Jace the Mind Sculptor, I can't play Jace Beleren. Or if I do, then it blows up this Jace. It would legend rule it away. The same way that they used to legend rule away creatures. Now, today, and not everyone knows this, this Planeswalker Uniqueness Rule is gone. So you can have 15 different Jaces on the battlefield, so long as they have a different name in the card type. Anyway, that was Jace Belleren's use for an eternity. Outside of that, like, I don't know, maybe some people like this in Commander, but, you know, strategically, the card is not really that good. A very weak Planeswalker. 3 mana. It was basically 3 mana, draw 1 card, and then it dies. When was that rule removed? I think around 2017, 2018. It was whenever Liliana the Dark... Okay, I'm not being very specific. There was a Liliana that came out that helped to change it around. Anyway, Jace Beleren. We have Bad Faith nomination with... no, Shadowmoor does not count. We'll do Shadowmoor in another day. I think back in the day, it blew up both. Yes, both of them got blown up. So you'd pay 3 mana to destroy the other Jace Planeswalker. Zelda Minish Cap in the background, so based. Yes, I chose a lot of Zelda music today. It feels very Lorwyn-like. Liliana Vess. The OG, the first of many. Or is this a magic? Was it in Lorwyn? It was from Lorwyn. 5 mana for 5 loyalty Liliana. +1, target player discards a card. -2, search your library for a card. Shuffle. Put that card on top of it. Oh. 5 mana Vampiric Tutor. Oh, it hurts. It's so bad it hurts. And then -8, put all creature cards in all graveyards into play under your control. That's pretty cool. Good luck getting there. I don't know how good Liliana Vess was. Honestly, I wasn't around when Lorwyn came out. I was in retirement. I was hard retired at this time. I wouldn't come out of my retirement until 2010. And then I'd go back in retirement again. 5 mana, lose the game. Wait. 5 mana, play Liliana and then lose. So, I mean, this is just strict. She can't defend herself. It's like none of these things interact with creatures. That's why, like, Liliana the Veil was infinitely better than this one. I love the elementals that came out of this set. The Horde of Notions. Let's take a look at the Horde of Notions. Yep. Oh, they reprinted in Modern Masters 2015. This is a 5 mana 5/5 elemental with Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. You may play... for 5 mana, you can play target elemental card from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. So free elemental from the graveyard. This is This is, I think, like a good top-end commander card when you have a lot of mana and there you have nothing else to do with it. Looks pretty good. If you don't have a lot of mana, you're in an aggressive game, this card's going to look pretty bad. Christopher B says, the biggest in multiplayer, if unanswered, was Hamlet back Goliath. Hamlet back Goliath. This is a good multiplayer card, you say, Christopher B. 7 mana, 6/6, it's a giant warrior. We don't see a lot of giants in this game. They tried, I think there were some giants in, what was the other fairy tale set that we went to? The name escapes me. Anyway, so this is a 6/6. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you may put X +1/+1 counters on Hamlet back Goliath, where X is that creature's power. Whenever another creature... Oh, I see. This actually influences your opponent's decisions. So the more creatures your opponents play, the bigger this thing's going to get. Well, you gotta... Ideally, you get it out early enough. You know, your opponents might have spent all their creatures, spent all their mana. They may not have any creatures left to play once you get this thing back in play. Next, we do have a super chat from Pacers fan for everything so much. The Nath. Well, let me just go Gilt Leaf. The Nath of the Gilt Leaf. Transmuted into a commander card. It's 5 mana, 4/4 Elf Warrior. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may have target opponent discard a card at random. Beginning of only at our upkeep. Whenever an opponent discards a card, you may put a 1/1 green Elf Warrior creature token into play. This is not bad. Whenever an opponent discards, so I mean they can discard any card, and also you get like a 1/1 creature out of it. The only problem is it does nothing on the turn that it comes into play. You have to wait the entire turn. It's not even every upkeep, it's only your upkeep. We've got some, there was some good giant, Eldraine, that's what I was thinking of. There was a good giant in Eldraine with a shock staple to it, called the Bone Crusher Giant. They did bring the giants back. We need more Eldraine. We need more Lorwyn in our lives. We need to go back to Magic. Or this game isn't going to be Magic the Gathering anymore. It's just going to be like, I don't know, comic books, movies, The Gathering. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Toilet Ducks. Chandra Nalar. The very first Chandra Planeswalker. This is a 5 mana, 6 loyalty Chandra, +1. Deals 1 damage to target player. My god, you know what? It's like they built these Planeswalkers. They made them real safe. You know, they don't want to make them too powerful, because if they do, everyone's gonna hate them, and then everyone's gonna call for them to like not exist anymore. Which is funny because many years down the line, a lot of people started to really hate the Planeswalkers. They had to make them clunky like this. -X deals X damage to target creature. These are terrible. And then -8, Chandra deals 10 damage to target player and each creature they control. Very, very, very safely designed. A lot of safety helmets on this thing. We got Seabass here. To be fair, Lord of the Rings and Avatar feel close enough to Magic. It does to me. Oh, do you want to be honest? When you talk about Avatar: The Last Airbender, I don't know anything about Avatar. Nothing. So when I see an Avatar card, it actually looks and feels like a Magic the Gathering card. I guess like the more niche you make the franchise, the more niche a franchise is brought to Magic the Gathering, it might actually feel like Magic the Gathering, especially if there's like actual magic involved. Nikachu, would you have guessed I'm bipolar? I just assume everyone's bipolar, Jess. We are all terminally online here. Okay, VTOX, 5 costs. Slowly sneak into the game by being weak on... Yeah, exactly, by being weak on release. You start them off real weak. Let them have a taste of this new card type. And then you ramp up the power level to the point where you actually ban some of them. Mercenary says, I remember Lorwyn being very underpowered at launch, with Thoughtseize being the chase card for the entire set. Sounds like Dragon's Maze. Little MX Doom. Sideboard staple, Burnt and Forge Tender. Yeah, this is I mean, to the credit of Lorwyn, it seems like a very defensive set. It wasn't all on offense. It was like, how can we defeat people with a bunch of defensive cards? Burnt-in Forge Tender is part of that. It's a white 1/1 with protection from red. Sacrifice it. Prevent all damage a red source of your choice would deal this turn. Was amazing versus red aggro decks. Was amazing versus burn. So, like, maybe they should bring this card back into Modern. It seems like it looks like it's really well positioned right now. Like, what would kill this thing? I'm just thinking, like, Boros Energy is not going to like to play against this. Just completely blocks and bricks Ragavan for a very, very long time. You can't snipe it down with Goblin Bombardment. If someone goes all in on a Slick Shot Showdown, which they won't while this thing's in play, you just sacrifice this thing and then prevent all the damage. This is a pretty neat card. This actually looks really, really good. It was a sideboard card for a very long time. You know what? It's going to come back. It's a staple. 17 cents right now. That's a good price. Should still be like heavily played. We've got Balkal Tima. Man, Cryptic Command was so good in Merfolk, which was very aggro. Oh, you mean like in Standard? Cryptic Command was so good in Modern for a very, very, very long time. Oh, I don't like that art though. I like the OG art. There we go. Blue, 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 and one generic. Oh, so many blue mana pips. Oh, it makes my heart sing. Choose two. Counter target spell or return target permanent to its owner's hand, or tap all creatures your opponents control, or draw a card. All of which were like super relevant. The most relevant, of course, was counter target spell and draw a card. So it was literally, I believe it's called Dismiss. Dismiss was a 4-mana counter spell, counter target spell, and draw a card. But it's this like there was a power creep Dismiss, which was just beautiful. Very, very nice. Bryce says, give me Gaddock Teague. Well, you don't get Gaddock Teague because Little Max Doom gets Gaddock Teague. Gaddock Teague. One of the most hateful hate bears. That's right, actually. Again, a lot of defensive cards in this set. 2 mana, 2/2, Kithkin Advisor. Non-creature spells with converted mana cost 4 or greater can't be played. Looking at you, Ad Nauseam. Think you're thinking of doing something, Ad Nauseam? I don't think so. Not in my part of town. Don't look me in the eye. You just turn around and you get the hell out of here. And then also non-creature spells with X in their mana cost can't be played. Not sure what that nails. Has anyone ever been in a situation where like, ah, damn, stupid Gaddock Teague is not letting me play my X spell? I don't know any. Maybe Meat Hook Massacre, maybe? Maybe I'm not sure. I don't know any like really popular X spells that would make or break this game. Oh, that's right. Chalice has X. I don't know why I would be playing Chalice versus the Hate Bear deck, though. You know, Chalice is usually not very good versus the Gaddock Teague decks. They're like really fair creature decks. Especially today, they also play Cavern of Souls. Upon learning, I thought Thoughtseize was a rare rather than an uncommon is when we all started calling it Cash Seize. Oh my god. Well, I mean, they need the chase rares to get you to buy the sets. They always need a chase rare. Gaddock Teague has stopped my Torment of Hailfire so many times. Oh! I guess Wizards can only be like, can we make this XX spell broken? Of course! Gaddock Teague is there. Gaddock Teague will keep balance in the Force. Always balanced. Bell, Ponder, Pauper staple? Is that as far as you're looking at it? Ponder is straight banned in some formats. And by formats, I mean one format. Look at it. This is the only time they had this art. Then every other art was the hands and the moons. By the way, did anyone recognize that there is an ugly elf in the background? I think that's an elf. Frankly, I think I'm much more of a fan of this art when there's no elf in the background. Not in love with that not in love with that elf. But I am in love with the Merfolk card. Even though I can't play this card in my Merfolk deck. 1 blue sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You may shuffle your library, then draw a card. Some people don't know. Card is actually banned in Modern. I don't think it should. I think it's frankly ridiculous. But it is super staple in Legacy. I mean, it'd be crazy if it got banned in Legacy. I think it's more or less it's one of the best cantrips in the game, honestly. It's probably the second best out of like Brainstorm, and I'm talking about like fairish cantrips. I'm not talking about Ancestral Recall. Love me some lore. We all love Lorwyn, and it's coming back. We have to buy as much Lorwyn as possible to convince Wizards of the Coast to make more. There should be a Lorwyn set as often as we go back to Innistrad and Ravnica and all those other planes. Okay, let's look at next Benjamin Berkey's Hostility. Yeah, this came from Lorwyn. This is a big creature. We have 6 mana for a 6/6 elemental incarnation. Haste. If a spell if a spell you control would deal damage to an opponent, prevent the damage. So I bolt someone, they don't get bolted, but we put a 3/1 red elemental creature token with haste into play for each 1 damage prevented this way. Oh my goodness. So like 1 bolt is like 9 damage worth of creatures. When hostility is put into a graveyard from anywhere, shuffle it into its owner's library. Can't keep a good hostility down. We've got oh boy, Dolmen Gate. Two-mana artifact. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures you control. How did anyone win in this set? Everything is so pillow forty and defensive. Like, you don't deal damage, prevent this damage, you can't play this card. Thoughtseize, you can't play that card. How did anyone win? Was there block constructed back then? Based on the price, this is a very popular card. That would be dealt to attacking creatures. Interesting. So basically, attack at will, block as you may. It is useless. It won't even be a flesh wound. People thought that Dolmen was a bomb rare. It ended up being okay. Dolmen is a card. Keep in mind that the final invitational event used this set for Winston draft. That is crazy. Dolmen. This card? Oh, sorry, that we were already here. It was a bomb rare. It ended well. Do you know what? Look at that. Look at that price. $25. It aged incredibly well. Good for it. Summer Mermaid Star with the Amoeboid Changeling. You're all making me realize, even though the set was weak as hell, even all these niche cards are super popular. This is a big jank combo card. 2 mana for a 1/1 shapeshifter. Now it's got Changeling. That means it has all creature types. Oh, wow. For all the Changeling fans, for the Changeling gang out there, this set, I guess, basically was your destiny. Tap, target creature gains all creature types until end of turn, or tap, target creature loses all creature types until end of turn. Literally ditto. Ditto the creature. Rancor says, man, Lorwyn was the last that I ever remember playing. Maybe I played something newer than it, but for sure I only remember up to this. It was a good set to remember. Was it all downhill after that? Was it all downhill after 2007? Richard's like, elves and goblins. All right, then. Next, we've got... Oh, Lil MX Doom, you got... Sorry about that. You got a super chat sniped. Why is this still a $25 card? Because people don't like their creatures getting crushed. Okay, I'm going to donate that one. Let's donate that super chat to Stormy Cat. Wow, Spellstutter Sprite came out of this set. Spellstutter Sprite did come from Lorwyn. A 2-mana 1/1 flash flying. When Spellstutter Sprite comes into play, counter target spell with converted mana cost X or less, where X is the number of fairies you control. Now, I can't believe it. There are hardly any fairies in this game. Seriously, and most of them are junk. They're like so bad. So when I see like fairy decks, they're composed of like 4 Spellstutter Sprite and 4 Bitter Blossom and nothing else. It actually makes perfect sense because there are no other better fairies in this game. And that's not even counting Mutavault, which a lot of those decks play. So this card is great at nailing 0 mana cards like that are coming off suspend. This is great at hitting the 1 mana cards. If you're lucky, you have a few fairies in play, you can hit 2 mana cards. And it's a random body on the battlefield. It's still annoying. It's still good. Seasplane Pauper, super Pauper staple. I played the card a few times in Modern. I really like this. I really like this card. But if Spellstarter Sprite is going to be a legit card, like they need more fairies. Throne of Eldraine didn't do enough justice to the fairies players. They still barely have any 1-drops or 2-drops. Oh, they were really competitive when I did Lorwyn. They had a White Angel and a Mole Drifter. Or not sure what reference that was. There was definitely a fairies deck though when it first came out. Like they did play the chunkier fairies only because in standard, well, it's standard. Power level's weaker in standard for the most part. Okay, Lil MX Doom, let's get one of your cards. Thorn of Amethyst. I wondered, you know what? Now that we're reviewing the set, I mean, let's go over Thorn of Amethyst. 2-mana artifact, non-creature spells cost 1 mana to play. So it's another defensive card. Makes the game a lot chunkier and clunkier. This actually is a staple in Vintage. In fact, it is so powerful in Vintage, it's restricted. Can only have 1 copy of this in Vintage. Too strong. People want to play things fast. They don't want to get screwed on their mana. They don't want to pay 1 mana for their Black Lotus. That's blasphemy. The whole point of owning Black Lotus is to play it for 0 mana. So these taxing cards, this is just a better Ristic Study. Well, if you actually want to tax somebody. Ristic Study doesn't do a very good job of actually taxing people because they're not forced to be taxed. Ristic Study is just a big card draw machine. It's a one-sided Wheel of Fortune. This makes me wonder, in the next Lorwyn set, are they going to come out with like new defensive cards? Like maybe finally some cards that force people to pay mana for their triggers? Because I think triggers are way out of control in 2025. There is no defense to triggers. Triggers are just free, and they're so hard to deal with. Every card that cast, it has a trigger. Enters the battlefield, it has a trigger. And then we've got some cards that, you know, like Torpor Orb can deal with some triggers, but not all of them. And what about activated abilities? You know, so anyway, triggers, abilities are not kept in check whatsoever. And maybe Lorwyn is going to deal with that. Nikachu is being triggered by the triggers, apparently. I am. I've been over-triggered. I'm scarred mentally at this point. It's games are winning early in bracket 3 from triggers. That's that same thing in competitive Magic. Same thing. What do we got here? Mistbind Cleek. Is that this come from Mistbind Cleek? Oh, that did come from Lorwyn. So this was one of the cards that gave fairies its reputation for being oppressive. A 4-mana 4/4 flash flying. You have to champion a fairy, which is so dangerous today. So when it came into play, you had to sack it unless you removed another fairy you controlled from the game. So guess what? If there's only 1 fairy in play and you play Mistbind Cleek, guess what happens when they kill your fairy? You lose your Mistbind Cleek. No way in any world in 2025, or even honestly for the last 10, 15 years, has this been playable outside of the standard environment that it lived in. Or I guess that makes it like 20 years. It's almost 20 years since this set came out. When a fairy is championed with Mistbind Cleek, tap all lands target player controls. So you basically time walk your opponent over and over and over again. It was almost like a stasis on this thing. Time walk the Fae. Might call it more of a. I know it was called like the time walk card, but might more accurately call it a stasis. Definitely had the commands, all the commands. Is it Lorwyn set or block? We're doing set. Because do you know why? Because I want to milk the series, and I can't milk it if I do all the sets at once. I don't do that. We gotta milk it, just like I milk my sponsors, starting with FusionGamingOnline.com. The deal of the week this week, that the deal of the week? Yeah, for 20% off board games. And if you want to support the channel, you might want to buy some of those board games. Not to mention, this is where I get my singles and sealed product. Where do you think I got my Avatar The Last Airbender collector boosters from? I got them from FusionGamingOnline.com. Even got some good stuff in those things. I actually spent $50 and ended up getting like $50 worth of stuff. So they got a lot of lucky packs over there. But, It's all luck. No, there's no guarantee of anybody opening $50 worth of stuff. And also, you can support the channel using coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases. Reminder also, we were going to thank our sponsor, Fusion Gaming Online. Sorry, Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards on Magic Online. Playing a deck any format on the digital platform Magic Online with Mana Traders. You can use coupon code Nikachu_JUP to get 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription. And back to good old cards. Uh-oh, where am I here? We love the cards. Surefire Subs will be, I will forever be grateful to Lorwyn for giving us Forced Fruition. this super jank card. Talk about potentially too much of a good thing, especially if you can double those triggers. This is the 6-mana enchantment. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, that player draws 7 cards. If anything, it wasn't a powerful set, but it was a very, very good vibes set. There were good vibes all around here. Oh my god, was there another snipe? Oh my god, I gotta get through your super chats, Lil MX Doom. Okay, I promise I'm gonna get through your super chats. Okay, we're gonna give that to well, it's so rude. Okay, Lil MX Doom, you give me another card. You got sniped twice now. You got sniped twice. So let's get to your other one. The Rings of Bright Heart? This is okay. I don't know what this card does. I know it's popular though. Oh, I didn't even know it came from this set. 3-mana artifact. Whenever you play an activated ability, if it isn't a mana ability, you may pay 2. If you do, you get a copy of it. You may choose new targets for the copy. If you want to ever double, you love your activated abilities. You ever wanted to have 2 of them? Well, that is the answer. You get the Rings of Bright Hearth over here. Just like you're getting too old. You're too old to get a pimple. You can get a pimples at any age. It can happen anywhere. And I like to pick at my face, so they always get worse. They say it will never heal if it doesn't it will never heal if you don't stop picking. I never really took that advice to heart. We have next Stormy Cat, the Pestermite. This very clever little fairy for 3 mana, 2/1 flash flyer. Comes into play, you may tap or untap target permanent. Big combo card with either Splinter Twin or Kiki Jiki or anything that can actually that taps to make another creature that's a copy of this thing. Okay, Lil Max Doom is going to replace with did Oblivion Ring come here? Really? The Oblivion Ring? No. That came from Lorwyn? I thought that came from a core set. Oh, wow. It did come from Lorwyn. 3-mana enchantment. When it comes into play, remove another target non-land permanent from the game. When Oblivion Ring leaves play, return the removed card to play under its owner's control. Also a learning curve for Wizards. They realized they had to put the whole thing in a block of 1 text because the way, if it's separated, you get to do gimmicky stuff like Oblivion Ring something, and with the target on the stack, you like bounce your Oblivion back to your back to hand. So it leaves play, that trigger happens. So the leaves play trigger has already happened, and then when the remove thing trigger happens, it's gone for forever. The creature is gone. So it was like a good learning curve for Wizards. They never do that again. They're never going to do it. Asian Eye's like, I love the gimmicky stuff. Damn you, Wizards. Yeah, well. Because there was that stupid problem with Oblivion Ring where you could end up locking out the game by just having 3 of them in play. Not that that happens very often. Very, very rare. Dressara with Guile. Anyone playing with Guile in 2025? 6 mana for a 6/6. It can't be blocked except by 3 or more creatures. Super Menace! If a spell or ability you control would counter a spell, instead remove that spell from the game, and you may play that card without paying its mana cost. Oh, so everything I counter, so it's basically Commandeer. All my counters become Commandeer. And when Guile is put into a graveyard from anywhere, shuffle into its owner's library. Wow, it's got like the It's almost got like Eldrazi power level. Wizards thought it was so powerful that they didn't want you to even reanimate this card. We got to be careful with Guile over there. Truth be told, sees no play now. Maybe it would see play if you could reanimate it. Who knows? Maybe they actually put the safety valve for a reason. What an abomination of a card. Does anyone play it? I don't know anyone playing this card today. Next. Anyone with no card? We have Kana with no card. No card yet. Mist, Meadow Skulk. Two mana, 1/1. Kithkin Rogue. Lifelink, Protection. Oh, hold on. This came from Shadowmoor. Sorry, this is disqualified. We're only looking at Lorwyn today. Some of the set symbols, they sort of look the same. They look the same a little bit, but not really. They're not the same. Lil MX Doom with another super chat. Muldrifter. Oh, someone mentioned Muldrifter earlier. I didn't know they were actually asking for the card. Sorry about that. Someone mentioned Muldrifter, and I didn't realize this came from. I just thought they wanted to share. They love Muldrifter. This is a 5 mana 2/2 elemental flying. When it comes into play, draw 2 cards and evoke for 3 mana. This is it. This is the card that started it all. If they didn't invent, I think this is where evoke started. You can play the spell for its evoke cost. If you do, sacrifice it when it comes into play. But back then, you had to pay mana for that evoke cost. Today, you don't pay mana. Muldrifter is still very good in Pauper, thanks to the flicker effect. Oh, yep. It is, ETBs are the place to be nowadays. Yeah, evoke came from the set. It evokes anger in some people. Not particularly me, but some people. I mean, to be honest, was not thrilled with Fury or Grief. Especially Fury. Little Deadfly with Auntie's Hovel. The dual lands are back. Except you can't fetch them out. So we have Auntie's Hovel, a land. When it comes into play, you can reveal a Goblin card from your hand. If you don't, Auntie's Hovel comes into play tapped. But what are the odds you don't have a Goblin card in hand? Tapped out a black or a red to your mana pool. Badlands. Free Badlands for the Goblin players. Don't spend hundreds of dollars for Badlands like a fool. Just buy an Auntie's Hovel and build a Goblin deck. It's as simple as that. 30 plus mins into the video and still some pseudo bangers coming up. It's a beloved set. Don't get me wrong. This is a super beloved set. I mean, you know what makes this set cool? A lot of them are build around cards. Like, they're not just generically good, which Wizards likes to go for these days, because the more generically good a card is, the more people play it. The more people play it, the more they have to buy it. The more they have to buy it, the value of the card goes up. The more higher the value, the more reason you buy the boxes. Whereas all these cards are like super niche and narrow. But we love those cards. Not everyone can play Auntie's Hovel. That's only for the Goblin players. Next up, let's get Soul of Samhain with Bogart. Ooh, the Bogart Harbinger. This was part of many combos at 3 mana, 2/1 Goblin Shaman. When it comes into play, you can search your library for a Goblin card, reveal it, shuffle your library, and put that card on top. So this actually comboed very well with Conspicuous Snoop, a creature that gained all the activated abilities of the creature on top of your library. So if you Bogart Harbingered a Kiki Jiki on top, then the Snoop could basically go off and win. You rated it as bad as Homelands? What, Lorwyn? Oh, Lorwyn is Lorwyn is still a pretty bad set in terms of power level. Power level is very, very weak in the grand scheme of things. This card, for example, I don't want to say it was borderline worthless, but it only became like worth something when Conspicuous Snoop came into existence. Then all of a sudden, like, okay, we got a real card on our hands. Yeah, we did Thorn of Amethyst. We got Menace. How about pretty successful and equally bizarre Shriekmaw? That was a great card. That was a good combo card. 5 mana for a 3/2 with Fear. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target non-artifact, non-black creature, and is evoke for 2 mana. So it was a very popular card in a living end, a combo deck that put a bunch of creatures in the graveyard through cycling. This one, however, not through cycling, because all you had to do was spend 2 mana to evoke it, and it was basically like Terminate, or I don't know, Dark, Doomblade. It was Doomblade, basically. Is it exactly Doomblade? Destroy target non-artifact. I can't. I talk about Doomblade so often. I don't even remember what Doomblade does. Oh no, it's only non-black creature. Okay, this has to be non-artifact creature. Apparently not afraid of the Shriekmaw. It's terror. Not quite the same thing. You guys know your Magic cards. I never played with Terrell, right? I never played mono black. I might have played it once when I first started playing the game. I don't remember. Next up, we've got another little MX Doom. Thank you so much for all your super chats, little MX Doom. Vivid Creek. Seen these lands in many budget 5-color decks. You don't have money for good cards? Come play our bad cards here in Lorwyn. They're still good for you. Vivid Creek enters the battlefield tapped with 2 charge counters on it. Tap for a blue. But you can remove a charge counter from Vivid Creek to add 1 mana of any color. Wait a minute. Am I allowed to play this in a mono blue commander deck? Because it literally says add a blue. Or is this 1 mana of any color disqualifying it? I'm just wondering. Oh, but I still can't. I'm like, how do I pay for Dismember, but I'm not even allowed to have Dismember in my deck. Okay, I've answered my own question. Who cares? You can play it? Okay, that's great. I can play it and I'll have no purpose. Next up, we got Lesthian's 1,000-Year Elixir. Is it as delicious as the 1,000-Year Egg, which I hear is not very delicious? 3 mana for an artifact. You may activate abilities of. Come on, let's get the lore. We need the Lorwyn picture. All Lorwyn, all day today. You may play the activated abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures had haste. Okay. And then pay 1 tap. Untap target creature. Okay. So this is definitely for the activated ability crowd. This is insane. This set is was built for commander players. Look, this is a $13 card, despite the fact that they've reprinted 1,000,000 times. This card, by all means, looks terrible to me. It doesn't look competitive. I could be wrong, because you could just ramp this out first, and then the moment you play your creature with the activated ability, it's so hard to interact with. And then if someone interacts with it, then you could untap the creature and then do it again. Maybe it's good in Commander. Maybe it's actually just objectively good. Elixir and Elf Ball is... Mwah. Is Elf Ball any good? How about this plus... Well, there's some Wandering Bard creature. It's almost like a birthing pod for creatures. Steve Cooper. Huge fan of the channel. We didn't do Eardo. There's double-sided cards? Oh, no. We're not looking at... No. We're looking at old Lorwyn. Old. The old stuff, not the new stuff. New stuff later, when the set really starts to get released. Okay, Connor wants redemption. Just like Steve Cooper's gonna need it. Doran! The Siege Tower. Doran, huge. Everyone's big fans of Doran. Represents jank to the maximum. 3 mana, 0/5. Each creature assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Boy, are you in trouble if Doran's not out. Otherwise, you just have a bunch of stupid walls in play. But if you got the Doran out, Doran will lead those walls to victory. Those walls come to life. It's a philosophy card. I think there are lines of thought. Like if you can't see a wall, it starts moving behind you. Okay, there is Pedgeman. I know the perfect card for the show, the Imperious Perfect. Imperious Perfect. What, elves versus goblins? Okay, 3 mana for a 2/2. Elf warrior. Other elves you control Sorry, other elf creatures you control get +1/+1, so it's a lord. And for a green tap, put a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token into play. That's right, it's an elf card. I think by now though, this is not a strong elf card. There's like a lot of really powerful elves prior to this set coming out. Like elves is already like a really busted deck by the time this set comes out. Like it's super strong historically. So these elves actually come off as like really weak. An elf player back then would be like, this can't win on turn 2. Screw this thing. But for the elf decks that are trying to win very fairly, it's a pretty fun card. Still a strong elf card. I have to admit, like when you, especially if you make a commander deck out of all these one-ofs, it's pretty cool. I think it's got to be a lot of fun. Elves got strong past Onslaught, right? Maybe. It definitely didn't have to get when Elves was. I know Elves was already an outrageously broken deck even before the border changed, because Elves is like a really broken deck in pre-modern. Okay, Steve Cooper is getting some Dolmen. Oh, we did Dolmen Gate. Hold on. Pedroman's like, yeah, but she pretty. That's why we have Lorwyn Llanowar waifus now. Other elves used to be kind of ugly back in the day. The old Llanowar art. All right, yeah. They're all wife. Lorwyn brought a bunch of waifus to us, including merfolk. No way. Springlake Drum came from here? Springleaf Drum, 1 mana artifact. Tap and untap creature you control. Add 1 mana of any color to mana pool. Jeez, there's way more iconic cards from this set than I even realized. If you like erased Lorwyn out of Magic the Gathering history, it'd probably like wipe out millions of decks that depend on cards like this. Next up, we did Mistbind Clique. Vitox. Wren's Run Vanquish. Is this a card? Wren's Run Vanquisher? That came from Lorwyn? Who's Wren? Now it makes me wonder. It was like Wren's Run Vanquisher? Wren in 6? Who the hell is Wren? Okay, 2 mana for a 3/3 and as additional cost to play Wren's Vanquisher, reveal an elf card from your hand, or pay 3 mana. It has Death Touch. I actually believe I played this card before, because I tried to make like an elf deck that like was like in the spirit of Merfolk, and I thought this card was pretty strong because it was like a 3/3 for 2 mana is not too bad, but it has Death Touch, so it could basically trade with anything. And I thought it was pretty cool. Oh, Morgan with Marilyn of the Morn Song. I thought this card was banned. Yeah, I guess not. It's 3 mana for a 2/3. Players can't draw cards. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player loses 3 life, searches their library for a card, puts it into their hand, and shuffles their library. But what if you're not allowed to? What if you're not allowed to look through your deck? Then what? Then you're screwed. Then it's just you're locked. You're locked out of the game. No more drawing cards for you. We got Leon with a Goat Napper. Take a nap, goat. What does that mean, Goat Napper? Goat Napper. Sounds like the goat is gonna die, but I can't be sure. So 3 mana for a 2/2 Goblin Rogue. When it comes into play, untap target goat and gain control of it until end of turn. It gains haste until end of turn. How many goats were in this set? Oh, that was a Morning Tide card? Oh, Marilyn. Okay. Marilyn of the Morn Song is nice, but we all gotta wait for Morning Tide. We're kidnapping the goat. But then we're probably gonna hold it for ransom. Like, what else are we kidnapping the goat for? Next up. Vazan, Favor of the Mighty. This is a new one for me. 2 mana for a Kindred Enchantment. It's a giant card. Each creature with the highest converted mana cost has protection from all colors. That sounds like chaos. Each creature with the highest converted mana cost? Or is it only one creature? Or is it per creature? No, I think it's just one. Whatever one or multiple creatures have the highest mana cost, that's it. They have protection from all colors. What a way to end it. What a way to get the game done really quickly. Wow, this was really niche, but kind of cool. This sounds like a combo with, like, Murktide. Play Murktide for Delve, but it's actually, like, a 7-mana card. And then has protection from everything. You gotta, like, blow up the Favor of Mighty in order to attack the, the Murktide region afterwards. Next up, we've got several people on Mirror Readery. We have Turg and also Steve Cooper wants Mirror Readery. I'm a huge fan of Mirror Readery. I was actually, you know, earlier in my career, Merfolk career, I wasn't a huge fan of this card, but now I'm a little bit more of a fan of this card since all my other good cards are sort of blowing up in my face. We have a 3-mana 2/2. Other Merfolk creatures you control get +1/+1, but whenever you play a Merfolk spell, and this is a very rare effect. Whenever you play a Merfolk spell, you may tap or untap target permanent. There is not a lot of cards in Magic the Gathering that literally says untap target permanent. Go look it up. There's not many. This is a very rare card. I ended up, it can untap your Soul Ring. It can untap your Time Vault. I actually found out that I could play Time Vault in Merfolk in Vintage with Mirror Readery because I play the Time Vault and I play Readery plus another creature and untap my Time Vault. Thing is, Time Vault's a hard card to play because there's just not a lot of cards that untap this card. But I could naturally untap it with my Mirror Readery. It gave me like extra attacks. It was hilarious. This card actually wins games the most of any other Merfolk cards. On Arena for sure. It's good if it doesn't die. If it dies, then it did nothing, and I spent 3 mana for nothing. That's the downside to this card. Who has no card? We got Felicia. Ooh, I like this card, the Surge Spanner. This is in my Merfolk deck. This is a 4-mana 2/2 Merfolk Wizard. Whenever a Surge Spanner becomes tapped, you may pay 2. If you do, return target permanent to its owner's hand. Oh, we need the Lorwyn version. There we go. There's the Lorwyn version. So you attack, you pay 2 mana, you can bounce something and go boing. Very, very funsy card, though. It's more for flavor than for anything else. Corbinek Purity. Draft troll card. Actual Purity. 6 mana for a 6/6. Elemental Incarnation. Flying. If a spell or ability would deal damage to you, prevent that damage. You gain life equal to the damage prevented this way. The old reverses trick. When Purity is put into a graveyard from anywhere, shuffle it into its owner's library. Play this against Burn, and they will... I mean, it'll just scoop. Instantly scoop. Next up... Who has not got a card? Voltlen has not got a card. Death Render. Death Render is a 4-mana equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2. Whenever a equipped creature dies, though, you may put... Is this from Lorwyn? Oh, it is from Lorwyn. When did they start equipment? Was it here? No. They started earlier. They started at least in Kamigawa. Whenever a equipped creature is put into a graveyard from play, you may put a creature card from your hand into play and attach Death Render to it. For 2 mana. Funny stuff around here. Oh, Mirrodin was the origin of the equipment. The origin of the artifacts. When artifacts became too powerful for a second time. Because they didn't learn their lesson from Urza Saga. We've got Menace with the super chat. Because axolots are cool. Ethereal Whiskergill. Sounds like a merfolk. It's not. It's an elemental. 4 mana for a 4/3, but it's got flying, which is actually pretty strong. Ethereal Whiskergill can't attack unless defending player controls an island. Oh my god. It's the Dan of its time. It's just Dan. It's got Island Home. Or what is the specifics of Island Home? Is it like they need to have an island to attack and you need to have an island so it doesn't die? This thing can live outside water apparently, because if you have no islands, it's going to be okay. Protect the oxalotls. What? Why it needs an island to attack if it flies? That's a good point, Arethusa. Arethusa asking the real questions around here. That makes absolutely no damn sense. Maybe the flavor text will explain. Follow Sage's debate whether the Whisker Gill is native to the dark meanders or merely dream stuff made real. I have no idea. It's just rules. Needs humidity so it doesn't dry out in the air, which makes no sense. You can only stay outside the air for only so long. Got to go back in there. Hexanor with Needle Vine Blight. Sorry, Needle. Or was it Needle? So card does not exist. Sorry about that. I don't know what you're going for. Oh, it's Nettle Vine. Quick save, Hexanor. Quick save. 6 mana for an aura. Well, it better be damn good for it to be an aura. Enchant creature or land. Enchanted permanent has, at the beginning of your turn, sacrifice this permanent and attach Nettle Vine Blight to a creature or land you control. Ooh, an aura you don't want. It's basically like an early version of a curse. To a creature, you have to still give it to something of yours to eat up all your cards. Okay, Arethusa is trying to say, Hoarder's Greed. When winning a clash isn't always a good thing. 4 mana sorcery. You lose 2 life and draw 2 cards. Then clash an opponent. If you win, repeat this process. I think I want to win. I think winning is good. I get to draw 2 cards off this damn thing. Over and over again. It's not good if you're at 2 life, but at that point, why am I playing this card in the first place? There was something earlier like that, like Tanglevine. What's Tanglevine? There's some card called Tangle. Tangle Bloom. Tangle Kelp. Tangle Asp. No, I can't find a Tanglevine. Cowards can't block warriors. They still can't. Next, are we on to no 2 cards yet at this point? Does anyone else have no card yet? Okay, Christopher B says, the best to let sleeping dogs lie. Howl Tooth Hollow. Ooh, a land, a hideaway land. Oh, this is the hideaway cards. Tap to add a black to your mana pool or pay a black. Tap, you may play the remove card without paying its mana cost if each player has no cards in hand. Each player? That's so hard to accomplish in a CD, like in any commander game. Hideaway, when the land comes into play, land comes into play tapped, and when it does, look at the top 4 cards of your library, remove one of them from the game face down. It becomes a great demon dog, is my point. I have no idea. This is pretty bad. Interesting. There's a lot of bad cards from Lorwyn, in my opinion. We didn't see any of them, though. Need Sire of... Yeah, we need Sire of Insanity. And then even then, there could be nothing underneath. It could just be a land. There's just nothing important there. Matt McCluskey with... ooh, a Johnny. We looked at all the other planeswalkers. We forgot about a Johnny. Not Gideon. Yeah, that was. I was like, what was the white planeswalker that like really stole the thunder? It was Gideon. Okay, Johnny Goldmane, 4 mana for 4 loyalty. +1, gain 2 life. -1, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain vigilance until end of turn. That's not bad. That's probably actually one of the better abilities of all these planeswalkers we've seen. And -6, put a white avatar creature token onto the battlefield. It has this creature's power and toughness are each equal to your life total. That can work out. Leon says, new show idea, deciding which color got the best card for chat suggested cycles. What? Deciding which color got the best card? I don't even know what you're trying to ask me of. Please reword it so I can comprehend the concept. Okay, Soul of Samhain is trying so hard to get Mad Auntie. Is it Mad Auntie? Okay, that's a Mad Auntie. Don't be peeving her off. She got her stick. She knows how to use it. It's a 3 mana 2/2 Goblin Shaman. Other goblin creatures you control get +1/+1. You can also tap to regenerate another target goblin. Mercenary says Merfolk and Elves got a lot of support from the set for reals, while Goblins got some decent support. I think they all got like some relevant support. I think this is a big set because we've been looking at a lot of good cards, and I haven't seen the absolute pure nonsense crap. Because there's some real bulk in this set. Nikachu has special sleeping pants. I actually don't. Unless you're talking about the pants I'm wearing right now. Marrow Commerce. There we go. This is like one of the greatest traps of all cards. At least I can speak to that from the Merfolk community. Oh my god! This card is $15. Or 16 if you round it up. It's a 2 mana enchantment that does count as a Merfolk. At the end of your turn, untap all Merfolk you control. Why? Why? This is, I don't know, people, I guess with activated abilities, gives you pseudo-vigilance. This is not, it's not even a rare! This isn't even a rare! This is an uncommon. I got those from the bulk bins. I know, it's an EDH. I can't believe it. It has no reprint. I recall, Mercenary says, I recall this card being total trash at launch with many ending up in the bin. And it still is. That probably ended up happening. Everyone just like ripped it up, threw it in the garbage. Therefore, the supply went down. You could untap your Time Vault again. I actually can't because Time Vault is not a Merfolk. I have to cast a Merfolk to untap the thing. Okay, I'll go. We're gonna go to your thing, the Big Squig. I just want to simmer on this card a little bit. So maybe in EDH you can like sort of, you know, justify this card, but not in Modern. And a lot of people try. That was like one of the #1 questions I was always asked between 2014 and 2016. I was like, Nikachu, what about Marrow Commerce? You could attack with your creatures, and then they can untap, which allows you to block stuff. And I'm like, this is not worth a card, especially in a world where there's so much removal. They just kill off all your creatures first, and then you end up with the stupid Marrow Commerce on the battlefield. And you have one less creature when you needed one more creature to hopefully win the game. DPV, we did Cryptic Command already. Okay, the Big Squig, shape sharer. Anyway, the same thing is true with that Mirror Commerce even today. A Shapesharer, 2 mana 1/1, a Changeling, 3 mana. Target Shapeshifter becomes a copy of target creature until your next turn. Ooh, turn your Shapeshifters into anything. Anything you can do, I can do better. The Kindred enchantment, that does not really compensate for anything, William. Not really compensating. Okay, DPV, gonna reload. We did 1,000-year elixir too. Damn it. Keep trying, DPV. Keep trying. Mappius, captivating glance. It looks like a giant. but it's a fairy as well. Okay, this is a 3-mana aura. Enchant creature. At the end of your turn, clash with an opponent. If you win, gain control of enchanted creature. Otherwise, that player gains control of enchanted creature. Huh? Clash with an opponent. But it enchants a creature. If you win, gain control of that creature. At the beginning of your end step. Oh, so every single turn we're going to clash until I, like, I don't know, somehow call over this creature. Yoo-hoo! You hit? Did I hear something? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Steve Cooper wants the second card. We didn't do Garrick. Garrick saw a lot of play. Garrick, Wild Speaker. Yeah, this card saw a lot of play over the years. Still is a pretty neat card. A little power crept out of the game, but still good. 3 mana for 3 loyalty. Now, the great part about this card is it's cost 2 mana. It's literally Wrenn and 6. Because you pay 4, and then you go +1 and untap 2 target lands. This was probably the best Planeswalker out of all the initial 5. And then also, it was also one of the few Planeswalkers that could defend itself. You could go -1 and put a 3/3 creature in play, and, you know, okay, you want to tack, come at me, bro. Come at me. I'm just going to block. And then I had a very relevant ultimate at -4, which was not hard to get to at all. Creatures to control get +3/+3 and gain trample until end of turn. I always thought that Garrick had no nose. It's just the helmet, the way the helmet was. Okay, I don't think we did this one, DPV. Always used in all sorts of ways. The Shields of Velis Vel. White Kindred Shapeshifter instant. Changeling. It's got Changeling on a instant. That's weird. Creatures target player controls get +0/+1 and gain all creature types until end of turn. Good God. It's a very, very draft-like card. Very draft-like. Garrick did see tons of play at launch. Oh, definitely. Oh, we have a super chat from Bell. Thank you so much for your super chat, Bell. Appreciate it. The Wandering Prophets. Oh, sorry, not Wandering. Wonderwine. Oh, this card. The take an extra turn card. 6 mana for a 4/4. I got a champion of Merfolk, though. Whenever Wonderwine Prophets deal combat damage, which is a lot of work, we got to play this card, sack a Merfolk, wait till next turn, attack, deal combat damage to a player. You may sack him. I have to sack another Merfolk, but if I do, I take an extra turn after this one. I do not recommend this card, but it does not seem to matter. Wow, these niche Merfolk cards are so expensive. We have $14 for this card. You're almost like voluntarily trying to throw away the game playing this card. I guess you can have Highland. I mean, okay, so in theory, if you hit one person once, you win. Because that's it. Or, I mean, you'll at least kill that one person. That's for sure. Because you keep taking an extra turn. Oh, no, but you still have to keep sacrificing a Merfolk every turn. Someone find a loopish with it? I'm sure there is a loop. You know, you combine like 10 cards together, there's a loop. Someone will call it a combo. Yeah, I've assembled my 10-card combo. Menace, Gale Powder Mage. Wonderwine goes in the ninjutsu deck. Does that work? Whenever Wonderwine champion, when this card comes into play, sack it unless you remove another Merfolk. But you have to still sack a Merfolk. I don't know. And then you have to sack another Merfolk. Gale Powder Mage, 4 mana for... Let's look at the Lorwyn release. Flying. When Gale Powder Mage attacks, remove another target creature from the game. Return that card to play under its owner's control at end of turn. Oh, neat. It's a blinker. Basically blink every single turn. For 4 mana, it's like so expensive, but like not entirely... if it lives, it's going to be worth a lot of value. DPV, Shields of Velisvel, first effect is definitely draft fodder. The gain all creature types is the part where things get crazy. Lots of jank, but funny combo. By randomly turning non-changelings into changelings. the Merfolk deck was overpowered back then. I never played Standard back then, so I cannot speak for it. Fireburn, we did Springleaf Drum, but we didn't do the Moon Glove Extract. 3 mana. The Moon Glove Extract is an artifact. Sack it. It deals 2 damage to target creature or player. That's it? Oh, that's terrible. That is so bad. 3 mana for shock. Colorless shock, but still shock nonetheless. The draft format can be a headache since its tribal payoff applies to all creatures, not just yours. That's fine. I think that's sort of cool. I always wondered what like a Kindred Cube would look like, where like because there's a lot of overlap between the creature types. Like there's like a lot of soldiers and humans, soldier merfolk, soldier maybe soldier Kithkin, and then there's like merfolk wizard, and then there's goblin wizard. There's billions of wizards. I think it's a really cool idea, and that's basically what Lorwyn is. Yeah, Tarmogoyf got another buff from this set. Did Tarmogoyf come out first? I think Tarmogoyf came out late. Actually, I don't know where Tarmogoyf came out. I guess it came out before. Next. Oh boy, Protective Bubble. Oh, this art is cool. But I bet the card is not. It's a 4 mana aura, enchant creature. Enchant creature is unblockable. Oh, it has Shroud. There's definitely a market for this card. I am 100% certain there is at least one person in chat, if not maybe 2, that have specifically looked up every single card in Magic's existence that gives Shroud. That gives it. Whether it be like in the form of an instant, sorcery, aura, or equipment. Guaranteed. This guy kept winning with Garrick. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, Richard, return the enchantment to hand. Keep the creature. Oh yeah, they're killing me with Garrick. Telling me some story I can't follow. Sorry about that. Oh boy, they're guilty. I knew it. I know Magic players. We love Gatherer. We also love Scryfall. Hopefully other people love Scryfall too. I'm more of a Scryfall than a Gatherer person. Has anyone mentioned a Treefo card so far? We have no Treefo card. Nikachu strikes me as a guy that thinks about aliens. I do not actually think about aliens. And for the most of my existence, I shied away from every video game that had anything to do with aliens. It was just like very jarring. So I was a big GoldenEye fan, but not a very big Perfect Dark fan, and so on. We did Doran. Oh yeah, we did Doran. We did the Tree Folk. Okay, let's look at Fireburn's Sylvan Echoes. Okay, I guess we're going to end the show on this one. Sylvan Echo is a green enchantment. Whenever you clash and win, you may draw a card. Beautiful. Who doesn't like drawing cards? All right, everyone. Thanks for being here today. It was a really nice look back on Lorwyn. A lot of beloved cards in that set. The power level is really low, but the fun, it's really, really high. And as usual, if you want to be part of the show, we got to be here weekdays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people can be part of the show. And of course, thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. We have Old Boy Mercenary, Jess, Steve Cooper, Little Deadfly, Asian Knight Mappius, Christopher B, Turg. We also have Turg, Arethusa, Menose, and on garbage that can't activate its own effect. That's right. Like many other cards in Lorwyn. Bell, Richard, and many more. Thank you so much for being here. And as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing those coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.